Hi, Tim from the Heresy group here. I've got the FMA bump lid. It's essentially a repro of the Team Wendy LTP EXFLL. Now, before I get the questions underneath of why didn't you just go and buy a Team Wendy, I actually tried really hard to get a Team Wendy for a long period of time. And I spoke to a few companies in Europe, I spoke to a few companies in the US, and the quote I was getting in was €400. I also know a friend of mine who's got a company in the UK that tried getting hold of these as well, and the waiting list was like 6 to 8 weeks. I was impatient. I actually managed to pick this up online for €37. I will put a link in the description for this. It turned up in just over a week, and when it did turn up, I was absolutely blown away. Not that long ago, I did get my hands on a legit LTP EXFLL, which made me want one in the first place, and looking inside at the padding kit, it is almost identical. Now, I've got to say, if this is not from the same factory as the Team Wendy stuff, I will be highly surprised. The one factor this doesn't have on it is it does not have Team Wendy's fact, you know, they're writing their branding on it. Other than that, it feels exactly the same. Very soft cushioning, almost like memory foam. If I push my thumb into this foam at the front and then release the thumb, as you can see, it slowly rises back up, just like a memory foam pillow. It just begins to slowly creep back up. Very, very good level of padding inside this. Now, you can make the internal adjustments on this. You can make it bigger or smaller by removing the padding, but the key factor on this lid, and the one thing that I was very excited to see, is if the adjustment dial on the back worked well. If you haven't seen the adjustment on the LTPs, it runs on a wire system, which is very unusual, as most of these run on these like ratchet clips. But as you can see there, there's some wire that runs around the back of the helmet, and essentially that's how this is all tightened up. This is how it snugs your head, is using this wire system. Now, for me, it's much more comfortable than the ratchet system of plastic on the Maritime. Found that it would give you a real tight hold around the back of your head here to get it comfortable, especially if you're wearing knobs. With this, it's very easy to adjust and actually much more comfortable. So we just swipe over the top like so, and then just do these straps up underneath the chin. One of the key things with this is that it does adjust really well on the underneath the chin, and it does allow you to shout if you need to. Now, turning round to the back, if you clip that in like so, you've got then the system locked, and then you can just turn the dial and keep turning it until it's nicely adjusted. And for me, that is really snug on my head. As you can see, the silhouette from the front is still quite high. You do look like a little bit of a mushroom head with the lid on, but if I remove the clips, there's really no movement at all when that's done up nice and tight. One of the other key things is that if you do want to loosen this right off or change the adjustment, it is very easy just by clicking that little dial out, and then the whole thing will loosen off and you can take it off. So for me, the adjustment system, the copy of the quality is very good, especially for the price. The externals to this, it's got this kind of almost matte textured feeling to it, and it does also reflect a lot of light, so I do want to get some matte paint in this just to kind of take that shine away. Other than that, really impressed with this. It does come with obviously the traditional repro of the Team Wendy mounts, which means that they are proprietary to some of the Team Wendy accessories. You do get a rail that comes with this that will fit in there, that will allow you to put your Picatinny accessories on, whether it be a torch or some form of light, but I haven't put anything on it as yet. The only downside that I found so far to this lid is the mount at the front. I had to Dremel and tweak and kind of change the frame shape of the bottom of this mount to get this Wilcox Repro to fit in here. Now, it might fit with others, but this is the FMA one. I've had it for donkey's years. I've had no problems with it at all, but it was a bit of a nightmare to get it to fit in there. Now it's in there, I don't want to touch it, I don't want to take it out, but it did take a little bit of dremeling and sort of fiddling to get it to fit nice and solid, but now it's in there, it is absolutely solid. I've hung my nods off it a ton of times and not had any problems at all. But really impressed with this. If you are interested in one of these, I will make sure there's a link in the description below. This is the ML, the medium to large, and it does go all the way down to fit in my tiny little pea head. And I've had a few other people try this lid on and had no problems with the fit at all. So really impressed with this. It is a much nicer shape in my opinion than the Maritime, and it is considerably lighter, which was another thing that I was considering. You know, I wanted to get a much lighter lid. Now, the only thing that I have got coming for this is a counterweight for the pack. I've got the TNVC copy. It's essentially the Mark II. It's the one that will take the Anvis battery pack. So that's the one I wanted to get. It's not here yet, but when it is, I'll get some photos up and online. I did actually use this with the BNVDs and they fit on here perfect. Had no problems at all. So that's something to consider as well, is that if you are after, you know, a helmet to run night vision on, this does work considerably well with a large amount of weight on the front of it. Really impressed. Any questions, please put them in the comments box below. I'll put a link to where I got this from in the description below as well. Great job on making a repro of this. I'm super happy with it and look forward to running it out at some night games soon. Guys, if you have any questions, comments again in the comment box below. If there's any videos that you want to see, any kit reviewed, anything like that, especially coming over the New Year period, Christmas period, then please make sure you put them in and me and Richie will make sure that we get some videos out and done for you. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you